Hello and welcome to the Always Sunday Football Podcast. It's a special day. I'm not sure if you can hear me right now. It's a special day. It's a special day here at the Always Sunday Football Podcast. We've got Dynasty draft that's going to be starting up very, very soon. Very soon. And yeah, I mean, normally it's me and Danny and Johnny and Anthony, but everybody's out doing their own things. A couple of guys are at work right now. And here we are getting ready for the draft. Now it's a 4-hour clock. So I'm sitting here right now, but we might not see a whole bunch of picks go off the board. We're going to see the first two go off the board pretty quickly, I believe. Johnny Ortiz has the first two picks in the draft. Lucky him, lucky him. And he is going to be paying attention. So right around 10 o'clock, we're going to see both picks come off the board. And then 103, we're not sure. I mean, he was already in the chat. Emilio was already in the chat. So we know he's awake. But we don't know, we don't know how fast these picks are going to come off the board. So it might just be a lot of staring at me. So I apologize for that. But thank you for tuning in regardless if you are tuning in. Once again, the Laces Out Dynasty Football League draft. And here we have a look at the draft board. Okay. We got ourselves a nice look at the draft board here. As you can see, the first two picks are Johnny Ortiz, 1-2, and then we have Emilio, we have Jay Clavs, we have Narkowitz, and then we have me. I traded up. I was in the 10th spot. I traded with Bobby J to jump up to 108, and then I traded with Eddie Mack to jump up to 106. So here I sit at 106, my only pick in the entire draft. So I'm hoping to make it a good one. But yeah, I finished 110. I traded the 108 and Jaden Reed for Joe Mixon and 110 and Jaden Reed for the 108 and Joe Mixon. And then I traded the 108 and Mike Evans for the 106 and JJ McCarthy. So I traded Mike Evans, Jaden Reed, and the 110 for Joe Mixon, JJ McCarthy, and the 106. So I had to let go of Mike Evans. I didn't want to do that. He's one of my favorite players, especially to own in fantasy. But he is 31. He's got at least a year, maybe 2 years left. But after that, it's anybody's guess whether Mike Evans is still in the league. So I did what I could to get value for him now, knowing that he's probably going to have another good season. But I got a 22, 23-year-old quarterback with all the upside in the world, plus I have Justin Jefferson. So now I have the JJ McCarthy. I have the JJ stack. JJ McCarthy, Justin Jefferson. All right, so we're just about 1 minute away. John Ortiz is probably at least half chub by now, maybe full erect. 59 seconds. We're counting it down. Again, thank you for tuning in. Always Sunday Football Podcast. It's just me today. It's a special Dynasty Draft episode. We're going to hopefully break down some picks here. 4-hour clock, so we're going to get two picks to break down. I can tell you that right now. Oh, here we go. And Johnny Ortiz is on the clock. Florida man. Ashton Jeanty comes off the board, and Omarion Hampton right away. Bang, bang. That's the way we like to see it. Ashton Jeanty at the 101, Omarion Hampton at the 102. Huge, huge picks right off the bat. Boom. There you go. Ashton Jeanty and Omarion Hampton, and it looks like Emilio is signed in. He looks like he's paying attention. We might see a pick right here. My guess is Teodoro McMillan. He's got Bryce Young. So if he picks up Tet, that would be a stack. He picked up Tet right here. Travis Hunter. Wow, Travis Hunter off the board at number 3. Interesting. Okay, so he does go receiver, but it's not the stack. He goes with Travis Hunter. J Clab's on the board, or on the clock, rather. Uh-oh. So we got picked. Trevion Henderson goes to J Clabs. Okay, we got one more pick coming off the board before I'm on. All right. Man, oh man. Ted McMillan's still on the board. Luther Burden, Igbuka, Quinshon Judkins on the board, Caleb Johnson on the board. Which direction does Tyler Warren still on the board? Colson Loveland still on the board. What direction does Narkowitz go in? Now, this is one where we could see a little bit of a wait on the clock here. Narkowitz might be at work right now. So the first 4 picks went off the board real fast. It was Ashton Genty and Omarion Hampton to the Florida Man. Then we had Travis Hunter in a surprise pick coming off the board second to Emilio. Trevion Henderson, the third running back off the board, the 4th pick off the board overall. Trevion Henderson goes number 4 to J Clabs. Now we've got the Wolverines on the clock. Could go in just about any direction, but we might be sitting here for a little while. Narkowitz, very strong probability he's at work right now. So we're going to be staring at this for a while. I'm up next, so I'm going to be sitting on pins and needles now for who knows how long. This is the brutal part right here. This is the brutal part right here. This is definitely not what you want. You don't want to be sitting on the clock or sitting next up when somebody's out here burning clock. Now, again, it's the middle of the day on Monday. It's the middle of the morning on Monday. Narkowitz is, oh, nope, yep, he's probably at work. He hasn't signed in yet. I'm looking. So far, he's not signed in. We got a little action going on in the chat here. So we've got Genty, Hampton, Henderson off the board. Travis Hunter off the board. To me, this is I'm gonna keep saying this over and over again. Tet McMillan. I mean, to me, he's the pick here for Narkowitz. You look over Narkowitz's roster. Let me move this out of the way here. He's got Braylon Allen, Josh Jacobs, Ty Johnson, Kenny Gainwell, Brian Robinson, Breece Hall, Keaton Mitchell, Zach Charbonnet. So he could certainly use a running back. He has Josh Jacobs and Breece Hall. And then, of course, he's got Braylon Allen, just in case Breece Hall ends up not being there next year. So, I mean, he could use running back help for sure. But he does have guys he can start. And we've got A. Smith from Philly, whoever that is, Troy Franklin, Brandon Cooks, Brandon Ayuk, Gabe Davis, Elijah Moore, Alec Pierce, Chris Olave, PJ Washington, Marvin Mims, Josh Downs, Jordan Addison. So to me, this is prime spot for Ted McMillan to get picked here. You know, this is a Ted McMillan spot. The receiver core for the Gotham Rogues could certainly use some help. Could certainly use a little shot in the arm. So I feel like, to me, Ted McMillan is the natural pick here. But it's not up to me. It's up to the Gotham Rogues. Johnny Ortiz probably tuned in. I think Johnny Ortiz is tuned into the live here, and he agrees with me that Ted is the pick. Yeah, I mean, if you look at Gotham Rogues, I'm sorry, the Wolverines roster, he has, he has needs at running back and receiver, frankly, but the running backs just seem a little bit more, going over those names again. You got Brees, you got Josh Jacobs, you got Brian Robinson, who's, probably going to be able to be used. Charbonnet has shown some value, but the receiver core is a little bit weaker. So it's a natural fit. Ted slots right in right here. Natural fit. I'm sure Gotham will be very happy to see that he fell to him. Yeah. Now we're about 8 minutes into the Rogues 4-hour clock. We got lots of time to wait, lots of time to chat. If you got any questions, don't be afraid. Stick them in the chat here. We'll talk some fantasy football, talk some Dynasty, talk some redraft, whatever you want. Wherever you want it, you got it. Fire away. Unless it's Bobby J. If it's Bobby J, shut up. I don't want to hear from you, Bobby. Seven minutes. This is brutal for me. This is brutal. In case you were wondering, I'm the guy who's next on the clock, who's going to have to wait till Gotham Rogues gets his pick in. I'm sitting here sweating, like physically sweating, just waiting for Gotham Rogues to pick Ted McMillan. I can't even say it. Waiting for Narquitz to pick Ted McMillan so that I can make my selection. All right. My pick is somewhat in. Somewhat in. I'll be right back. Sad to say that I went away, I came back, and the Rogues are still on the clock. Still waiting on good old Johnny Nark. Genty and Hampton. Easy top 2 picks. Goes to Emilio. Henderson to J. Clavs. All right, so we got McMillan on the board. You got your Judkins, your Igbuka, your tight ends. Trey Harris hanging out here, just chilling. So it's just us. It's just us sitting here hanging out. I mean, we might be sitting here till noon, till Markowitz goes on his lunch break. It's very possible. Ooh. I'll say this. I mean, as much as it's painful just waiting right now. I'm glad I got the 6th pick and not the 10th pick because, man, just waiting all that time, brutal. You got Bobby J checking in. Everybody's checking in right now, except Narkowitz, unfortunately. Bobby J checked in. Magler checked in. Obviously, the guys early in the draft were peeking in. But yeah, I think we got a nice long wait right now from the Gotham Rogues. I know who I want. I know who I want. I got my guy right here. So we'll just put that right in there for now. See if I might get a chance to make my pick on this stream. But yeah, I definitely have one guy that I've been pretty much on since the beginning of the process. Whomst, if Narkowitz picks him here, you will get a chance to see live on this stream. You'll see my soul leave my body. My dead, lifeless husk will fall to the floor or like down onto the table or something like that, and my soul will just go to the other place, wherever that is. Eddie Mack checking in. Everybody so far, well, almost everybody in the back half of the draft. Pick 106 checked in, 108 checked in, 109 checked in, 110 checked in, 112 checked in, and I think 111 checked in as well. The only person who hasn't checked in yet is, in the whole draft, is 105, the guy who's on the clock right now. Every other person has opened up the app. Maybe not 107. It's draft day. Gotta love it. But this is unfortunately, this is what happens when you have a draft like this, where it's a slow draft, but it starts in the middle of the day. But the nature of this league, we can't get everybody together all in one place at one time. We're spread out all over the country, in a couple places in the country. So getting together for a live draft isn't really feasible. And so we do these slow drafts, which is technically the easiest way to do it. And I like the slow draft, that way you can just make your pick, go about your day, make your pick, go about your day. But it's, the sticky part is when, and everybody's schedules, like my schedule doesn't line up with Narkowitz's schedule. So I'm looking at this thing, I'm ready for him to go. And Narkowitz is busy right now. But sometime within the next 3 hours and 45 minutes, he'll make his selection and I'll be on the clock. And then, maybe, let's see, 3 hours, let's see, 10, 11, 15, 12, 15, 1, 15, 2 o'clock. So about 2 o'clock is the latest that I'd be on the clock making my pick, which is fine. I don't have to go into work. I probably will leave here maybe around 3 o'clock. Obviously, we don't want to be waiting until 2 o'clock for me to make my one single pick in the entire draft. But that would be the latest. That would be the longest we'd have to wait till 2 p.m. Obviously, I wouldn't probably stay on a stream that entire time, unless somebody else signs in. But I don't see that happening. Everybody's at work. Anthony's definitely at work. Johnny's definitely at work. Danny Mac, who knows? He wakes up real early, so he's up and around, but I just don't know what he's up to. Oh, Gotham Rogues signed in. Here we go. Gotham Rogues signed in. So we got the Rogues on the clock. He's in the draft room. Is this where we see Tet McMillan come off the board? He signed out. Oh, Markowitz, what are you doing? What are you doing, buddy? He was in, and then he was out. You thinking it over here? Come on, man. Come back. Don't go. Come back. All right, Narkowitz. You popped your head in there. You saw a lay of the land. You see that Tet is still available. Let it just soak in. Let him just kind of absorb it for a minute. Take a breath. Tet is there for you. You need a receiver. It's a match made in heaven. I think the wild card in this draft also that I'm really interested in seeing where he goes is going to be RJ Harvey, because nobody had RJ Harvey as their RB3 coming into the NFL draft, but but he could be the RB3 coming out of the draft based on landing spot. Because you had Quinshon Judkins, and that was great. People were like thrilled with that. I was thrilled with that. But then they drafted Dylan Sampson as well. So that takes a lot of the steam out of the Quinshon Judkins, sales. You thought maybe you were getting a workhorse 3-down back, and then they draft another really good running back later in the draft. So that threw a little bit of cold water on that. Caleb Johnson is awesome. He's in a good situation. He's basically going to get what Najee Harris vacated in Pittsburgh, but it's not a workhorse role. So where does he get drafted? And then RJ Harvey, he got picked up by the Denver Broncos. And the Broncos were one of the landing spots coming into the draft that everybody was like really excited. They wanted, that's where people wanted Judkins or Henderson or even Hampton or Caleb Johnson. Everybody was, Gotham Rogues is back. Gotham Rogues is back. Okay, guys. Gotham Rogues is back. He thought it over. He let it sink in. He's back to me. Nope, he's gone again. He's back. He's back again. Let's go, Narkowitz. You got this. Let's go, Narkowitz. You got this. Tet McMillan. Do it. He's really thinking it over. with the 5th pick of the first round of the 2025 Macy's Out Rookie Draft, the Wolverines select This is really freaking me out now. This is a long time to wait and wonder and think. He's out again. Ooh, he's really thinking about it. Like this makes me think it's not going to be Ted at this point, because he would have just picked Ted already. So he's in and out twice now, 3 times, whatever it is. He's in, he's out, he's in, he's out. It's not Ted. He would have just picked Ted. I don't know who it's going to be, but oh, it could be a quarterback. But he has Purdy and Anthony Richardson. He could be considering Cam Ward here. Interesting. Could be. He took Tet. He took Tet McMillan. He took Tet McMillan. I'm on the clock. I'm on the clock. We did it. And with the 6th pick, Colston Loveland. Woo! I've wanted Colston Loveland since the beginning of the draft process. Got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Nice. All right. I got my guy. I got Colston Loveland. Since the beginning of the draft process, so my roster is strong at running back, pretty strong at receiver. I have some solid quarterbacks now. I have three pretty solid quarterbacks now. So I think I consider that not to be a weakness. It's more of a strength. My tight ends were in a bad spot. I have Kelsey, who's probably retiring after this year, and then I have 2 tight ends that were rookies last year. Ben Sinnott, who really didn't get a chance to do anything, and then Washington re-signed Zach Ertz again. So I don't expect him to get a huge piece of the pie this season. And then you got Theo Johnson, who he was on the field a lot last year. He didn't really produce a ton. The Giants have quarterback questions, and so Theo Johnson, he's probably I think they're both good dynasty assets, but I don't expect either one of them to be playable this season, and probably not to ever get to like top 5 fantasy tight end status. But Colston Loveland, I can see being a top 5 fantasy tight end. Maybe not this season, but for several seasons. He's super young, super athletic. So that was my guy from the beginning of the process. I was originally hoping to get him at 10, but then shout out to Anthony. Anthony traded into the draft, and that kind of woke me up to the possibility that he or somebody else might jump me. And so I made some moves to get up as high as I could in the draft, which was the 6th pick, and I was able to grab my guy. Nice. Nice. All right. So the first 6 picks: Ashton Genty and Omarion Hampton going to Florida Man. Emilio Jay-Z Dad with Travis Hunter in a little bit of a surprise, but I get it. Jay Claps. Henderson still believes in Henderson. I think that's going to be a smart move in the long run. You see, maybe this season they trade Ramondre away, or maybe after the season Ramondre is gone. I think there's a really good possibility for Henderson to be the bell cow back in that backfield as early as 2026, I guess. Ted McMillan to the Gotham Rogues, strengthening that receiver core, and Colston Loveland to the Red Knights, strengthening his tight end group. And hopefully, I drafted Colston Loveland to be a top 5 tight end for 8 years, so we'll see what happens. Not this year necessarily, but starting next year, top 5 tight end, every single season in that Ben Johnson offense. Hopefully Caleb Williams. Now the pressure's on Caleb Williams to get it turned around. He was terrible last year, but that's why they call it gambling. I'm taking my bet that the Bears offense gets better. Okay, so now what we have on the board here is Search Protector. Search Protector traded away Saquon Barkley and Trey McBride. So what he could pick here is Search could pick Tyler Warren. Yeah, I'm going to bet, maybe not bet, because he can use a running back for sure. He can use a tight end for sure. And if you look at the board of the leftover players and you want to ask, who's got the highest upside as far as being a stud at their position, Warren could still be the best tight end, and he could still, I have my bet on Loveland, but he might take Warren here. I think that would be a really good pick by him because he needs that. So it looks like we're getting reports right now. Reports are that Anthony, who originally traded away all his draft picks for this draft because his strategy was he didn't know a lot about the rookies, and he wanted to give himself an opportunity to really sort of like ramp up with the whole college scouting, rookie scouting thing. So he basically was like, I'm going to let one rookie cycle go and just watch and like learn, and then I'll jump in heavy on the next rookie cycle. So he traded away his draft picks for this draft. But then like late in the game, he's like, oh, you know what? It would be fun to be in the draft. Plus, I have some guys I can potentially move. So he ended up working a trade with John to get the 201. So Anthony's at the 201. He's chilling. John has 1-2. He's got still remaining. He's got the 112. He's got the 208. He's got the 301 and the 312. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 picks left in this draft. So he could reshape his team. He could totally remake his team. Tyler Warren's still on the board. To me, that's the guy. Like if you're tiering these players, Warren is arguably a tier above the remaining players. He's still on that elite, potentially elite tier. Colston Loveland, no matter what. I've bet my next 2 seasons on Colston Loveland. Now, like I said, I have Travis Kelce, who he's still my primary starter until Colston Loveland shows that he's reliable, which might not be until next season. But I don't have any draft picks next year, 26. So it's I have 1 pick this year, and that's Colston Loveland, and then I have no picks next year. So I basically bet my next 2 seasons on Colston Loveland. So we're going to find out if I hit it or if I blew it. We're finding out, Anthony's finding out the hard way that trading during the draft is not going to be very easy. Because everybody's at work. Everybody's at work right now. Like I'm not. I have to go into work tonight, but most of the guys are at work right now, and they can barely make their own pick, let alone negotiate trades right now. So, I mean, maybe Anthony gets lucky and he catches somebody not totally paying attention. Like he could go from not being able to get a trade done to getting a blockbuster trade done just because somebody's not fully on it. But I don't, a mental note for me is, trading during the draft is not easy. It's very not easy. Very not easy. Battle Fader in the chat lamenting some of his trades that he made. He's been He's been making some he's been making some risky trades. He's leveraged his future quite a bit. Like I think he's traded away his first round pick this year. He traded away his first round pick next year, and I believe maybe even the year after that. He got Saquon, he got Trey McBride, but like Saquon's like 29 or 30 or something like that. So he's old. Battle Fader might be. Yeah, he says I might regret the moves down the road. It's definitely possible. He basically gave up Najee and Hampton for Puka last season. Najee's not that bad, but Hampton, that's not great. Well, they're both on the same team now. Ironic. How about that? And he traded for Saquon. And the wrong one, Neighbors and Hampton will probably outproduce Puka and Saquon. So time will tell if I live to regret this. Yeah. Yeah. Fader might end up turning right around and like trading Saquon away this season if things aren't going his way. If I were him, I would try to hang on to McBride and trade away Saquon during this season and get what you can for him. Get a first round pick. Get a first rounder back. So we got our guy. We got Loveland. All right, so Serge is at work, clearly. I think Johnny added him in the chat, which is a pro move. So he definitely got a notification, but he must be at work because he's more than 15 minutes on the clock, coming up on almost 18 minutes on the clock now. And I haven't seen the little green dot once for him. He's like him. I haven't seen a green dot for, and I don't think my brain is telling me that I did see a green dot for Danny Mac, but I can't confirm that. My brain says yes. My eyes cannot confirm. So there we are. Genty Hampton. So Johnny adds Genty and Hampton to a backfield that already has DeAndre Swift, Zach Moss, Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby. Okay, so he had just those four guys: Swift, Moss, Etienne, and Bigsby. And now he adds two studs to that mix. So that's a pretty nice improvement right there. And I know for a fact that he's hoping to have an opportunity to draft a receiver at 112. Now, whether he does, it depends on who's available at that point. But in his perfect world, he can bolster his receivers this draft as well because he's got the 112 and the 208. So, of course, depending on who's available, you could see John add one, if not maybe two receivers with his next two picks. I think it would be very funny if Tyler Warren fell to John at 112. It's not going to happen. somebody will grab him before then, most likely search protector right here. But it would be very funny if John ended this draft with Genty, Hampton, Tyler Warren, like all these like blue chip top prospects. You could definitely use them. You could definitely use them. Colston, Loveland. Fantastic. Okay. We're looking good. We're looking good. All right, I'm going to cut that off for now. I'm still watching it. Still got it going on in side screen here, but until Serge signs in, I'll leave it down for a minute. Actually, you know what? Leave that like that for right now. I'll be right back. Okay. This would be now. It's way too early to start talking like this. He's only 25 minutes in or so. I gotta figure there's gonna be at least one timeout in this draft. I didn't really think about that until right now, but we had our startup draft, and I want to say there was like maybe 2 or 3 timeouts on the 4-hour clock. Timing out on your first round pick is brutal, but he probably would get Tyler Warren unless he set some sort of crazy queue list. But yeah, timing out the first round would be brutal, absolutely brutal. And I know Eddie doesn't want him to time out because I'm pretty sure Eddie, unless he changed his mind, the word on the street was that Eddie was interested in taking Tyler Warren. So if Eddie traded back 2 spots and still gets Tyler Warren, that would be an awesome get for him. You know, that would really make things awesome. So my final draft trade give and get was, I mean, we don't know who the number 10 pick in the draft yet is, but I gave away Mike Evans and Jaden Reed plus the 110. My haul was Mixon, who's 28, so I still get him for a few years. I got JJ McCarthy, who's 22, and a quarterback, and a stack with Justin Jefferson, who I also have, and Colston Loveland. I got Loveland, Mixon, and McCarthy for Evans, Reed, and the 110. I think that's good. I think that's a good trade. I think that's fair. I mean, I didn't like. I'm not trying to say, oh, I blew these guys away. No, but I got, I think, good value, and obviously everything rests on whether or not Loveland pans out. He could be a bust, and I could end up looking stupid. But ultimately, I still had Mixon and JJ McCarthy in that deal. Evans is eventually 1 or 2 more seasons, and Evans is probably done. And Jaden Reed, you know, he's a talented player who doesn't produce a whole lot. So I'm fine with it. I think it was a good value proposition. We got guys outside with machines and stuff like that. I'm probably going to end up jumping off here. Thanks for tuning in to all of those who did. It's about to get real noisy here, so I'm going to wrap this up. Once again, thank you so much to Bobby J and Eddie for trading with me. And I'll see you next time, where it's always Sunday.